We talk a lot about resilient teams, teams that bounce back from setbacks, absorb disruption, and keep going. It's the default goal for most organizations. Build toughness, withstand the pressure, return to normal. Problem? Resilience brings you back to where you were. It helps you recover, not evolve. Anti fragile teams go further. They don't just survive stress, they grow stronger because of it. They don't bounce back, they bounce forward. The concept of antifragility was introduced by Nassim Taleb, where he describes systems that benefit from volatility. It's like working out at the gym. The mild injury that your muscles endure is what makes them grow. Or our immune system, which learns from exposure from new pathogens. In a world being reshaped by AI, where complexity moves faster than most teams can adapt, anti fragile capacity isn't a luxury. It's really the only way forward. And here's the connection most leaders miss. Anti-fragility isn't built around grit, it's built through flow. If you're not familiar with flow, it's a term that describes the mental state where we feel and perform our best. In flow, you're fully immersed. Time distorts, distractions fade, and the work feels both challenging and deeply satisfying. It's also a core concept in lean thinking, something we explored in detail in a video from the five lean principles, because sustained flow is what allows teams to deliver value efficiently without burnout indefinitely. Now, flow state isn't just about feeling good while working, it's the psychological foundation for sustainable high performance. Clear goals, immediate feedback, balanced challenge, deep focus. These aren't perks, they're prerequisites for adaptability. Because the truth is, you can't grind your way through rapid change. You have to grow your way through it. So let's start with individual level. What happens there? Antifragility begins with exposure to the right kind of pressure, what's known as hormetic stress. Like weightlifting, small intentional stresses, that's what makes us stronger. Too much stress, though, that's what causes breakdown. Too little, we stagnate, and even atrophy occurs. Mentally, the same principle applies. When individuals take on stretch challenges, ones that push without overwhelming, they develop stress immunity, confidence, capacity, not because they avoid leadership and hardships, but because they engage with it intentionally. And the anchor through it all? Intrinsic motivation. When people are connected to purpose, when they have autonomy and agency, they stay grounded, even as conditions shifts around them. They're not preoccupied with staying safe. They're able to focus on growing. And here's the real mindset shift. Anti-fragile individuals don't build identity on being right. They don't rest on the laurels from past success. They grow their identity further by learning. Failure isn't shame, it's feedback and an opportunity to grow. That mindset shift changes everything. So, what happens when we scale these patterns to the team level? Well, first, psychological safety becomes the baseline, not as a warm blanket, rather as a permission to slip into candor. It's the difference between we're nice to each other and we challenge each other openly and with respect. Because if all we do is create safety without truth, then all we get is comfort without growth. Anti fragile teams move beyond comfort into courage. They operate in what we call brave spaces, where disagreement is expected, not avoided, where failure is discussed, not hidden. And diversity of thought, it's not just a value, it's a performance lever. Different ways of thinking create friction, and from that friction, sharper decisions emerge. These teams see problems others miss. They adapt faster because they see more options. They also share ownership. There's no blaming, no heroics. When something breaks, the default is curiosity, not criticism. They ask, what are we learning? Not who messed up. This is where flow re enters the picture. When teams reach flow together, what researchers call group flow, collaboration becomes seamless. Feedback becomes natural, ego fades, and performance amplifies, not linearly, exponentially. Antifragile teams don't avoid difficult problems, they seek them out because rewards challenge, not ease. That's the paradox. Hard problems are where peak performance emerges. Feedback loops, fast, normalized, focused on outcomes and systems, not people. You fix the iteration, the mechanics, not the individuals. Agile practices act as the scaffolding here. Embracing change over following plans, that's anti-fragile design. Regular retrospectives, that's your team's immune system, learning in real time. Self organization, that's distributed intelligence, resilience at scale. These aren't rituals. It's not about following frameworks. They're capabilities, and they build muscle, not process expertise. So, how do we build anti-fragility deliberately? We'll start by framing challenges as opportunities for learning, not threats to performance. Create space for experimentation. Use time boxes and bounded constraints to make risk manageable, not paralyzing. Many organizations use stretch goals language. I've heard that many times. However, what they really mean is that they expect these goals to be met. 111% is the only right answer. That's the equivalent of lifting weights beyond your capacity. You will tear a muscle or worse. No. Set stretch goals above 80%, where 80% gets you safely to where you need to be. And anything beyond that is an opportunity to push you forward and change your language. Ditch failure and mistake. Use data and feedback. This isn't just wordplay, it's culture shaping. Think about it. These words echo in meetings, retros, dashboards. They frame how people experience risk. You don't think that shapes behavior? It absolutely does. If you want teams to grow, start with a language they hear every day and make it fuel for growth, not a signal to play it safe. Rethink performance management too. Antifragile teams don't need annual reviews, they need real time signals. Replace evaluation with learning indicators. Use peer feedback and measure progress against collective outcomes. In retrospectives, don't just fix process, update assumptions. Ask, what do we believe to be true that may no longer be serving us? That's how you evolve mental models, not just workflows. Rotate decision making. Spread responsibility. That builds resilience at every layer, not just the top. And it avoids creating pockets, silos of expertise within your teams. And normalize those public debriefs, sharing, sharing openly the learnings, even the awkward ones. When teams do this, knowledge compounds, trust deepens, and permission to grow gets written into the cultural code. It's the norm. Now, as always, let's talk about AI. AI introduces new stressors, information overload, false precision, automation without insight. And teams can easily become passive consumers of AI output, losing all judgment of muscle. Or they can integrate AI as an amplifier. That's a choice. When we make it something that makes us bigger and better, not a replacement. Use AI to strip away low value friction, scheduling, summaries, progress tracking, administrative tasks. Free up your team's attention for the messy, complex human parts, parts where anti-fragility is built. Let AI surface patterns and stress signals. Then train your team to respond, not with panic, with curiosity and insight. Because in the end, AI can't make your team anti-fragile. However, it can create the space where anti-fragility grows if you design it right. So, what do we take from all this? First, resilience helps you survive and follow. Anti-fragility helps you grow and lead. Second, flow isn't optional. It's the access point for sustained excellence. And third, agile culture isn't just adaptive, it's strength building. Every retrospective, every change friendly decision, every moment of self organization is an investment in your team's capacity to get stronger from pressure. In the era of AI, disruption is the new normal. The teams that thrive will be those that turn this disruption into momentum. Anti-fragile teams don't wait for stability. They create strength from instability. They evolve in real time. Try this next week. Just shift one phrase from mistake to data, from failure to feedback, and see what changes. Notice how your teams respond. And if something shifts, big or small, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're seeing in real time. And if you'd like to learn how flow, lean, and agile, all of those cultural aspects work together to support high performing AI ready teams, click one of these. I'll be happy to tell you all about it.